Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals, your daily dive into all things Nintendo, friendship, and video games. Because tonight, we're not just in the realm of Nintendo, although we will heavily skew towards Nintendo. We're going to be giving our picks for the Game Awards. The nominees just went up. Let's vote. Micah, are you ready to jump on in?
Yep.
It's that time of year, the end of the year, where our good friend Get Off Keele hosts the Game Awards. It's good old Jeff. Good old Jeff. And the Game Awards is kind of like the prestigious top-tier game award show now. Wasn't always this way, but now it is. And everybody's talking about these nominations. So I figured we'd jump in and just straight up vote. That's what we're going to do in this episode. So I got it pulled up here. You ready, Micah?
Yep.
Oh, snap. Boom. It's scene change if you're watching the video version of the podcast or just listening. We're going to read them out so that it will be a good viewing experience for everybody. But there's visuals. If you like the video version, check out our YouTube channel. Okay. Game of the Year is the first thing to vote. And here are the nominees. We have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4. This is the remake, right? They're not up again for Resident Evil 4. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, this is quite the list of nominations. Any surprises on here for you?
Resident Evil 4?
Really?
No offense, but it's a remake. I feel like that should exclude it.
Yeah, well, it apparently was really, really liked. People enjoyed it. Mario Wonder was a surprise to me. I didn't expect that to be in the nominees for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
but,
especially with how recently it came out.
Yeah, but deserved. It's a great game. But is it our Game of the Year? It's not my Game of the Year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm narrowed down between two.
Okay, what's your two?
Baldur's Gate 3 or Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, that's where it is for me as well. And I think, out of principle, we have to vote for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
And because it's the Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep. Out of principle, it is my favorite game of all time. Baldur's Gate 3 is a very close second for me for this year, though.
It's a very good game.
Yeah. All right, I'm voting it. Oh, we have to sign in to vote? Pay no attention here. We are going to pause and then come back.
You want to
How do I sign?
have people watch you sign in?
Hold on. There we go. I should have known. That makes sense.
It does make sense.
Okay, now I am going to vote for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That is our pick, the Nintendo Pals pick. Keep voting. Oh, share your vote on social media. Yeah, no, it's all good. Next category.
Next category is not the same at all as the last category.
Well, do you want
all
to
the games are the same except Resident Evil 4 is gone.
read these ones off for us, Micah?
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Now, best game direction. What does that mean?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
The little snippet it says is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I, I, I have a pick for this based off that description.
And that description kind of makes me want to go with Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Does it? Because it makes
A
me
little bit.
want to for sure put this for Baldur's Gate.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, creative vision, innovation with direction and design. I mean, I've never played a game like Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean,
I've played a lot of games like Mario Wonder.
Divinity's relatively similar. I just feel like the Wonder Seeds really shook it up and made it unique.
Yeah. And
Also,
I feel
Tears
like
of the Kingdom letting you build stuff.
yeah, but
whatever
Tears
you
of the
want.
Kingdom is a direct sequel to a game that was like peak innovation and design. And so it feels a little bit like, well, yeah, it's not really innovative when you do it the second time.
The innovative part is the Ultra Hand and
Yeah.
building whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true. But like overall game direction, I think Baldur's Gate 3 just does a lot more stuff. And it does it pretty dang well. I could be swayed to other decisions here. Do you not like that pick? Let me tell you what I'm not picking is Alan Wake 2 or Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, no
Because
offense to those games.
I didn't play those.
Also, I haven't played them. Yeah. I don't know. I do think Baldur's Gate 3 is a really good game. I don't know if its creative vision is outstanding. I mean, I feel like it's not really groundbreaking or too innovative. It's just doing the things very well, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Creative vision and innovation.
But I mean, to be fair, like no games are like truly innovative anymore. Like really, like so many games have been made. They're always rehashing and putting their own twist on things. But
yeah, well, I was also just thinking about because it says specifically in game direction, which I feel like is like partly like production, and I like how Baldur's Gate 3 did their production. It seems like their team was like really well put together, and they had like a really fun work environment that, and the whole like put it out in early access, continue to work on the game. It's just like they're Larian as a company is just kind of rock stars in the video game space right now. That's kind of where I go with that. I don't feel like Mario Bros. Wonder was super innovative, besides the Wonder Seeds, which are awesome. But besides that, it isn't like too vastly different from other Mario games.
fair enough.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm leaning. But yeah, I see what you're saying with Baldur's Gate as well, because you and I both played through Divinity, and it's like basically a sequel to Divinity. Where do you want to put the final vote here?
I'm okay with Baldur's Gate as
All right.
the choice here.
Well, you'll concede on this one, so
just in case I have a really controversial opinion later.
Yeah. Okay, next category: Best Narrative. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 14, and Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Or is that Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah, that's 16. I read those backwards. My Roman numeral dyslexia got me again.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
also Final Fantasy 16
one here, right?
Okay, Final Fantasy 16 wasn't up for Game of the Year. Did you notice that? Same with Starfield wasn't up there. Hogwarts Legacy wasn't up there.
Is it that good? Are either of them that good?
I've heard all of them are pretty good. Maybe not Game of the Year, but let's see. Yeah, I think we got to give this one.
We just gotta go Baldur's Gate. It's the only one we played.
Well, also its story is really good, and there's like what 700 endings, and all of it like works so good.
Yeah, and there's like 800 hours of dialogue or something.
Yeah,
and cutscenes.
All right, give us our next.
A lot of those are branching.
Give us our next nominations
for the best art direction: Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, or Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom?
This is a tough one. This is for outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
Hmm.
I think Mario Bros. Wonder is a really pretty game, but I also think Tears of the Kingdom is a really pretty game.
I
I
don't know
don't.
much about Lies of P, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard it's really
Got like
good.
cool puppety stuff going on, I guess.
Yeah,
But that's essentially all I know about it. It is an intriguing art direction, I think, but I don't know if it's good.
I have no thoughts on this one. Where are you landing here?
Hmm. Hmm.
Not that I
Artistic
don't think any of these
design
games
and
are really pretty.
animation.
I'm just like nothing's pulling me one way or the other.
I mean, it's kind of like what you said earlier for best game direction. For Legend of Zelda, I really like the art style and how it looks, but it looks very similar to Tears of or Breath of
To
the
Breath of the
Wild.
Wild. Yeah. I mean, there were some visual moments in this game that were absolutely stunning. Like the whole final boss and all that sequence is like so crazy. Plus, yeah, that's tough because it is just like Breath of the Wild again, man. Like this is the problem for Tears of the Kingdom. This is gonna be the problem among the critics as well, which are like 90% of the votes for the awards. Is they're gonna be like the newness factor is gonna have rubbed off, you know?
You know what? I say we give this to Super Mario Bros. Wonder just because they finally animated the Goombas, so they attack you by
You are
biting instead of just
100%
walking
right.
into you.
I love it.
That's why they deserve it. That and when you're about to land on them, they get real scared.
Okay, this one's gonna be tough for me. Best score and music for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. We have
I'll let
Alan
you
Wake.
read these ones.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2, composed by Petri Alonco. Why did I say that so weird? Petri Alcondo. Baldur's Gate 3, composer Borislav Slavov. Borislav Slavov. That is an interesting combo to say. Final Fantasy 16, composer Masayoshi Soken. Hi-Fi Rush, audio director Shuichi Kobori. Man, I'm sorry to
There's like a
everybody.
lot of
Sorry to
kind of
everybody here.
difficult names for us,
How about this
which
one?
is why I will let you.
The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, composed by Nintendo Sound Team.
Oh, their
They
parents must
did
have
it
really
right.
loved Nintendo to name them that.
They did it right. They were like the whole team did this one, not just one guy. Um, did you have listen? There's a special place in
Legend of
my
Zelda music.
there's a special place in my heart though for down,
Yeah, yeah.
down, down by the river. Yeah.
That's like the only song I remember, but it's so good.
Oh, it's so good. And well, that theme plays in like all over the place and it's so pretty. Like when it's like orchestral and the fight music. Plus you got the lute that you get to play your your
Oh
songs.
yeah, yeah.
You can play your songs from Divinity.
Yeah, so I don't know for this one. I feel like I remember more music from Tears of the Kingdom, but that Down by the River song is fantastic.
I lean more towards Tears of the Kingdom too because what about that saxophone song that they played in the trailer? It's not even in the game, but I love it. I love it so much. It's just from the trailer music. And yeah, the main theme is so good. All of the like boss battle music. Yeah, I'm hard pressed to vote anything besides Tears of the Kingdom. But Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate 3 is up there.
And once again, those are the only two games I've heard music from, so
All
the other
right.
games didn't stand a chance.
Next category.
Huh.
I'm excited for this one because I don't think you and I have played any of these games.
Any of them.
I did watch some Let's Plays of several of these, so let's see.
Best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Yeah, Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I'm really feeling Dead Space.
Okay. I'm down for that. Dead Space.
I kind of want to say Alan Wake 2, but I've also seen it so many times in these nominations that I feel like I'm
All right, here we go.
almost can't.
Best performance awarded to an individual for voiceover acting. That's a weird way to say that. For voice acting, motion and or performance capture. Oh, so it's not just the voice acting. Interesting. Okay, so we've got Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16. Cameron Monaghan for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I love that Cameron Monaghan is just himself in Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Like it's just him. They just recreated him. So if they ever make like a live action thing, he can just be in it.
Yeah, I think the same with Idris Elba from Cyberpunk.
Yeah, he's just
Phantom Liberty. I think he essentially is himself.
Yeah, so Idris Elba is up here. Melanie Liburd for Alan Wake 2. Neil Newbon for Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Micah, do you have any objections to my vote?
Nope.
It's going to Neil Newbon for Baldur's Gate 3. Astarion, he did motion capture and voice work, and his character is phenomenal. Literally, this whole category should just be filled with Baldur's Gate 3 people. They are all fantastic. They're all so good. All the voice actors are so good. I'm glad he's getting recognition for that. All right, give us the next one.
Innovation and accessibility. Got Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6.
I don't know enough about these to really vote for any of them. I'm just going to throw it to Spider-Man because I do know it has accessibility controls.
Sounds good.
Good with you? All right. Yeah, sorry to everybody on that one. It's like I just don't know on these games because I didn't personally play any of them. Games for Impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. We have A Space for the Unbound. Chance of Sinar. Sinar? Goodbye, Volcano High. Tchia? Terra Nil, and Venba. This is another one where I
think we have to give it to Goodbye, Volcano High. What a cool name.
What is this game? You like look it up on the side?
Literally no idea what any of these games are.
Well, I know Venba is that cooking game. It's like about a family trying to keep their keep like recipe books for their Indian culture alive, and they have immigrated to Canada. So there's like a story about that.
Apparently in Goodbye Volcano High, you're trying to have a good band audition while attending Volcano High.
Oh, sounds great. We'll vote for it.
Potentially have a messed up family dynamic.
We're voting for it. So there you go. This is our next one, Micah. Or did you read those ones? Is it my turn?
No, you read the last ones.
Okay.
Best ongoing. Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 16.
No, that's Final
Fantasy. That's 14. What is
Fantasy
this?
14. Yeah, that's why I was
What do you mean? This doesn't make sense. Fortnite and Genshin Impact.
This is a tough one, I think, but I don't really have preference one way or the other. I will say that I don't think Cyberpunk really deserves this. Like, it's not an ongoing game, and it started
Been an
so
ongoing
rough.
process to fix it. I
Yeah,
think.
that doesn't feel. I don't feel like we should be giving them an award for, hey, we delivered a bad game and now we're fixing it. Like that should be a thing, but they shouldn't get an award for their game after such a tragic launch. Nah, I'm knocking them off the table. So what do you want to pick here? I've heard
Well,
fantastic things about Final Fantasy. Remember this year, Final Fantasy 14 had like a revamp, and it was so bad that people were like, they could only play after waiting in queues for like an hour plus.
oh, that's rough.
Yeah, so it was really popular. I know that.
Or they had really bad servers, or not many.
Yeah,
I mean, I've pretty much only played Fortnite out of these, so
let's vote for it. Let's give it to Fortnite.
unless
I
they
think
got the OG season coming back.
Yeah, Fortnite's done a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's go with that. Next up, we've got Best Community Support. Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky.
I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 has had pretty good
Yeah.
community support and whatnot.
Out of all these
No
games,
Man's Sky has been pretty good as well.
yeah.
It's kind of the same situation of they had to fix stuff.
Yes. That's why I don't feel like No Man's Sky in Cyberpunk 2077. Although I do like No Man's Sky a lot. It's very fun. Have you played it since all the updates have come out? It's really fun. And I think Cyberpunk
played it
is
before all the updates came out.
yeah, Cyberpunk is in the same boat where everybody's saying that the newest update, the Idris Elba one, is really cool. And
Something Liberty, I've heard good things.
They fixed it pretty well. But I gotta give it to Baldur's Gate, I think, because man, their early access and their community like communication, it was. I mean, and they're just constantly putting out stuff. Like it's crazy, and they're just super on the beat, on the pulse for what people want in the game, and that's just
His Majesty. That alone.
That's true. His Majesty. So for those that don't know the story there, they had a cat that was rendered incorrectly, so it didn't have hair. And so in a patch, they fixed it. And the fans loved it where it was like a hairless cat. And so they put it back because the fans liked it so much. And I'm like, that's cool. All right, now let's go on to Best Indie. Ooh. There's some good ones in here. Okay. Give us the list, Mike.
They got Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder.
I have played none of these yet. I want to play Cocoon.
Yeah, I haven't played Cocoon, but it looks really cool, and I've heard a lot of really good things about it.
I've also heard a lot.
Sea of Stars, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of positive feedback on Dave the Diver, which it just looks like a game that I was like, I don't really think I would play this. Like, I judged it by its cover and was like, that doesn't look like me, but it's really well liked. But of these, I think you want to give it to Sea of Stars.
Yeah, I think that's my vote. Partially because it's the only one I've played, but it's fantastic.
How many categories do we have left? I feel like this is going way slower than I thought it would.
We're almost halfway.
Maybe this is a two-parter. All right. Best debut indie game. Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, or Viewfinder?
Cocoon was a debut game. I thought it was by the same people that made Limbo, or at least some of the same people.
Yeah, I think this has got to go to Pizza Tower. I've seen this game everywhere, but I know literally nothing about it other than you play as this crazy
Never
looking
even
guy.
heard of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this kind of exploded on the scene. So that's why I'm kind of voting for it.
No offense, but I've Googled it real quick, and this doesn't seem that impressive.
Well, it's supposedly kind of like old school Wario, like Wario Land-esque. So it's a platformer, but that's about where my knowledge ends on what this is.
Wildly good reviews.
Yeah. Isn't it weird? I was like, this is the deepest I've looked into this game.
This is like the worst looking game I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like we need to play it now.
Yeah, like I feel like I should have if I just bashed on it a bit, but
So you don't want to vote for it just based off of how it looks?
I mean, I just don't know anything about it. I have seen a bit of Cocoon, which really impressed me, but
I don't know what Viewfinder is. I've not heard of that one. I've heard of Dredge.
Except Cocoon.
Okay, well, for me, it's between Cocoon and Pizza Tower. You want to lean towards
Plus
Cocoon?
Cocoon was on our Fantasy Critic League, as per my suggestion.
Yes.
17 points. So.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. That was a good pick. Okay. Micah, I think we're going to cut this episode here, and we're going to do a part 2. So, yeah, let's close out here. Let's come back to our wide shot. Micah, first off, what are your thoughts overall on the Game Awards so far? We've gone through.
Well, there are a lot of games I haven't played that have been nominated.
This is the first year that I've played 3 games on the Game of the Year nominee list. So it's a good year for me. That's the best I've done. But I also noticed that there's like not a ton of variety between the different voting categories. You just see
a lot of the same games.
Yeah, a lot of the same games
for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. And then every once in a while, like new games get sprinkled in among all the Game of the Year ones.
Which
so
I mean, makes sense. If you're up for Game of the Year, that means you're doing a lot of things right.
Yeah.
So it makes sense they show up in other categories.
That leads to a little bit of a problem with the awards as a whole, where some games will just come in and sweep. Like God of War and Elden Ring last year just like took everything. God of War took so many things, and then Elden Ring took the rest. So, I think this year it's going to be a Baldur's Gate 3 sweep. That's my prediction. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to come in and win like a whole bunch of different categories. But we'll see what other things are in store in the next episode. But Micah, for now, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitch at Micah Brown.
And you can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Andros1, where I'm doing game challenges and Zelda. Lots of fun stuff over there. You can also follow the show and support the show by checking out our Patreon, patreon.com/NintendoPals, where for as little as $1, you can be a part of the Patreon Poke Rap that we close every episode with, and we will close this episode with right now. We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzo, Retrologic Dan, Tim the Nintendo Dash, Slim, Tor, Spider Chat, Solo something, Mute Dog the Game, Little Miss 7, and Monkey Thunder.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
Kid, Fiasco, Third Strongest Mole, Fedorable, Will, All, and Seth Sturgill, Cosmic, Purple, Viola, That Fast John, and Mother Plays too.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more your face to be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you for part 2. Stay tuned.